Hello, so I'm Emma King. I'm one of the co-chairs for the Reach Initiative, the Wessex Reach Initiative. And I'm going to have a few minutes chat with Professor Issy Reading, who works for the RDS. So first thing, Issy, is what does the RDS actually stand for?
Okay, thanks, Emma. So the RDS is the Research Design Service. There are 10 of us, and I happen to be the director of the one that covers South Central, which is a geographical region.
Brilliant. And what is your role within the RDS? What do you do?
So I'm the director, so I'm in charge of running it, but I also have quite a large part of my role is actually as a statistician. So I'm Professor of Medical Statistics, and by and large, all the people who work for the RDS are what we call methodologists. So people like statisticians, health economists, qualitative researchers, and all of us, our aim is to support researchers to design really high quality research in the first place. And that's why it then involves our methodologies to get that bit right.
Perfect. And how do people access the RDS? How do they go about that?
So we have a website, and on our website, there's a big red button that says request support, and you click on that and put in what's hopefully some quite brief details, and that will put you kind of into our system and someone will get back in touch with you.
Perfect. And how crystallized does somebody's study idea need to be before they can approach you? Do you want them to be the finished product, or do you want it to be quite early on in their journey?
So we'll talk to anyone at any stage. So it might be that people come to us quite near the end, and we can just help them refine their ideas, or maybe do a critical review of how they've written about their ideas. Or it might be that someone has no idea what actual study they want to do, but they do have an area they want to research or a question they want to answer, but they don't know the best way of going about answering that question. So we can then help them think about, well, what is the research that would actually answer that question really well? So people come to us with half a page of A4 with a few notes, bit of a background, what's the problem, and we take it from there, or they come much later on, and anything in between, really.
Really good. And who do you want to hear from? Oh, I'm guessing from your last answer, probably everybody, but who particularly? Yeah.
I guess we are, I mean, there'll be pockets of people who have a lot of support around them, and they definitely won't need the likes of us because they'll have that where they are. So I guess it's great if we can really fill in those gaps for people who don't have all that support around them, who can't get easily at a statistician or some of those other advice. So people who are early career researchers in particular, people who are starting out, people who maybe don't know very much about the National Institute of Health Research, but might want to apply for funding there. So we have a lot of expertise about what NIHR looks for in the research that they're trying to fund. So we can kind of help with that aspect. So people who perhaps are a bit newer to the field are particularly welcome.
Brilliant. And finally, any take-home message, you think, anything you'd like to cover that we haven't talked about?
Oh, I suppose I'll mention two things. The first thing is patient and public involvement. So the National Institute for Health Research is really keen on getting patients and the public involved in inputting into research ideas in the first place, so that research can be really relevant to the people that it's aimed to help.
Yeah.
So we can help people do that. The RDS can help advise on that and support people who are trying to get the public involved in designing their research. And the second thing is we also do quite a lot of signposting. So the RDS can be a really good place to come if you really don't understand where you've got to go for this, that, and the other, and it is complicated. We're not the only ones, but I would suggest the RDS is quite a good place to come. And if we can't help you, we may well know other groups who can.
Fabulous. Thank you very much for your time today, Issy, and we'll now leave you in peace. Thank you.